Yeah, I saw, what was it? It was like 62% of households, or that was, I think in Puerto Rico, it was 62% of households were watching Puerto Rico versus DR. What was it? 40% of Japanese households were watching Japan, China, Japan, Czech. And the same number for the final, which you're like, well, that's surprising. And then you remember it's the morning of a work day, and still 40% of everyone in Japan is watching it, even though people were calling out sick. They're watching on their computer at their desk. They're, it's the excitement for Samurai Japan and the whole tournament was pretty great to see, because there's pockets of that in the States. People who love baseball were excited, and I think because of Shohei, and especially Japan, US, I think people got more excited for the final than ever before. But you don't have sort of like, there was almost like everybody was talking about WBC, it felt like, in Japan. And I don't know if we quite had that, at least until the final in the States. So my first pick, and I got a lot of heat for this. I said it was going to be Korea and Japan in the final, and I said Korea was going to win. Now, that was clearly very wrong. I'm happy that I picked Japan in the final. I at least had that. And I at least said Korea would probably lose most games to Japan, but, anything can happen on one day. But once you started watching, we knew going into the tournament, Japan was going to be great. We thought US would be good. Venezuela was better than we thought they were, but we knew they were going to be good. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. But once you really started to watch the games, you noticed there wasn't a weakness on Team Japan. The pitching was unbelievable. Imanaga started against US, and nobody had even talked. We talked about 4 aces on the team, and there was a 5th ace that just gets announced the last day. And that was with Kodai Senga in the stands. So if he was there, Japan would have had literally 6 aces on the team, a great bullpen, a lineup that didn't have a single hole, great defense, and then depth. So when Genda was hurt, and Genda wasn't even supposed to be the first choice shortstop. When Genda got hurt, they didn't miss a beat, The more you watched this team, the more you thought, yeah, this is a complete ball club in every way. The talent is there. Baseball, especially a tournament, anything can happen in one game. So, you never know how it's going to turn out. But no, it was pretty clear that Japan front to back was the best team in the tournament. And, it's kind of heartening sometimes to see the best win it all, because they deserved it. So I was really looking forward to seeing both. I knew Sasaki a little more than Yamamoto before I got there. Sasaki, so I watched the Yamamoto-Sasaki game when they face each other for the first time the other week. I set my alarm. I woke up early for that. That was really interesting because, one, I was watching on TV and not in a press box, when everyone's small. Just watching, because I think the Japan League's really good. I think Japan hitters are really good. But watching Sasaki, this young kid, against these hitters, they looked lost up there. And so getting to see that on TV compared to at the stadium was something else. But no, I was really looking forward to seeing Sasaki because we talked about him so much. The nearly back-to-back perfect games, the 101, 102 mile per hour fastball. And just like Ohtani, he's so big and he's so strong even at his young age. So I was really looking, and he lived up to it entirely. Even though it was early in spring, the guys couldn't go that long. I was wondering how hard they'd be able to throw, or Sasaki blew me away. And then Yamamoto too. Obviously Yamamoto doesn't have the same 102 mile per hour fastball, but he's got all the breaking pitches. He's got, that split finger. He's got, and the fact that they're both aces and Yamamoto is so, back-to-back Salamoras. It's just, but they're so, this is what's great about baseball. Like, Sasaki is so tall and big, and Yamamoto could not be more different. He has a build more like, I don't know, Pedro Martinez or something. And to see them both succeed and be so dominant, I know MLB fans are really excited to see them pitch and be like, who knows what it'll be like if they come to the majors. And they did better than my expectations. And I was completely blown away by both of them. Yes. radar guns getting lit up all game long. It was, those guys put a show on. And then again, against USA, none of those four started the game. Like, that was Imanaga. I'll admit it, by the end of the tournament, I knew the team pretty well. I did not know a lot about Imanaga when his name was announced. I was like, hold on, this wasn't in my notes. I wasn't preparing for this. So, pretty unbelievable rotation right there. Because that's the thing, is he was struggling that whole tournament, but you knew the power was there. You knew the ability was there. You don't hit 56 home runs as a fluke. Like, that doesn't happen. You don't forget how to hit overnight. I know early on when we got to Osaka, I was talking to a writer. I'm not sure who it was at this point, and Murakami was in the cage. He was like, he's really battling his timing. He's really bad. Like, they knew he was struggling before the tournament ever began. So in the back of my head, you're thinking about this. You're like, come on, this is Murakami. This guy hit 56 home runs. Like, I read that Koriyama was actually thinking of pinch hitting for Murakami in the Mexico game. He was going to lay down a bunt, go for the tie, and then he saw that, was it Gallegos on the mound at the time, that he was struggling with his command, and he was like, okay, Murakami can do this. And then Murakami comes up, smashes the game-winning double, and then when he homered against the U.S., I thought, okay, he's figured it out. It just took, it's spring training for these guys. Like, the season's not here yet. But yeah, he was someone I was really looking forward to, and maybe the amount of great moments weren't there, but when he hit the ball, it sounded like it sounded and looked something special. And even if it was going to happen, it was like maybe in the first inning or the sixth inning, or it'll be a 5-run game, so it'll be fun to watch. But no, this was 2 outs, 9th inning, 1-run game, 3-2 count. Like, that's where I people in the press box were like going wild, and this, like, in the press box, people are really calm and reserved, and if anything, they seem to sometimes hate baseball, because it's like, I want to go home, people were going, like, I pinched myself, because I was like, am I asleep? Am I in a coma somewhere? Because you could not script this ending any better than it possibly could have been. So we are, as baseball fans, we're just lucky that this happened. So just hold on to that moment forever. He had to trot back and forth, and then when he came in, he got to take a real dramatic entrance because they were reviewing a play. So you just see, like, him. It felt like, like a Western movie or something, and it was like, this is the gunfight at the end, like the man versus man. It was just an unbelievable baseball moment that they gifted the world. One person I was talking to, though, said, when Shohei comes up, it's not as loud as you think. I think that was like the sign that was like, wow. Wow.